Hey, Catherine here from Catherine Pooler Designs. Sizzix has some cool stencils out called Rotating Stencils, and I wanted to show a couple ways to ink these up, how to use them, a couple card ideas, and we'll throw in a couple inking techniques. I have 4 designs: Retro Vibe, Flower Power, Geo Blocks, and Candy Kitsch. At the bottom, it shows you different ways to use it with 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layers, and 4. We'll open up the tape on the back, and I love the folders that these come in. They're nice and big, and they keep your stencil taken care of. We're gonna use the Stencil and Stamp Tool. Take off the door and add the stencil attachment. One thing I love about this is you can start up here, down here, all the way down here, so you have some room for movement around your area here. I chose my color combo using the Party Collection color wheel. Shows all of the Catherine Pooler Designs inks, and we're gonna go with the complementary color combo. We're gonna use red violet with a dash of yellow green. I'm using my oval ink stands by the ink stand, and this is my color combo. So we have Pucker Up, Flirty Fuchsia, and Melon Ice. Work nicely to kind of keep your inks organized on your desk, and they also hold it down so when you're ink blending, your ink pad isn't flying all over the place. So we're gonna add Pucker Up, just ink blending over the entire stencil. I'm gonna do a dark application of Pucker Up to start out with. So I'm using Catherine Pooler Designs ink. You can definitely build the color and get so many different shades of one color. You can see how dark this is getting. And then you're gonna see how light we can get it too with the next layer. Okay, so the first results, we're gonna take it and we're gonna rotate it 1 turn. Actually, let's do 2 turns. So when you turn it, you can see where the next layer is gonna go. Oh, that is a really cool pattern. Okay, so we're coming in with a lighter hand on this one, and we'll see how light we can get this Pucker Up. And then of course, when you're looking for darker shades, you just go up the row for RV, and it goes from Sweetheart, which is a really light red violet, to Glam, which is a super dark red violet. And sometimes I use the darkest ones for my sentiments instead of using black. I'm gonna take a paper towel and just wipe this down. This is ever so slightly damp. I don't want it to be wet because then I'll be wetting my paper, right? The reveal, whoa, look at that. 1 color, guys. I can leave it just like this. That is fantastic. Or we can go 1 more turn. And let's go for Flirty Fuchsia and get a darker red violet. I'm going real heavy-handed with Flirty Fuchsia here. Want it to be super dark. And I'm not worrying about down here. If you wanna make sure you don't get ink in other places, you can just use a Post-it note to mask that off. But I'm gonna cut this down to fit a card front, so I'm not really worried about it. Now this time, I'm gonna have to make sure this is cleaned really, really well, because I'm gonna use Melon Ice next. And since that's across the wheel from red violet, if they mix, it's gonna turn brown. So I wanna make sure that all of the color is off of the stencil. All right, let's peel back. Gorgeous. I could definitely just leave it as is. Now before I do the next layer, if you can see here, it says Sizzix and then the product number and what number stencil this is. This is 1 of 1. And if I put it on here like this, it's gonna overlap, which is actually a really cool thing. And if I came in with another shade and just overlapped here, you'd get a really cool look. But it made me realize I did this upside down, which is completely fine. But when you're stenciling, make sure you know which way you're going so you don't overlap when you don't want to. All right, let's go in with the Melon Ice. All of the products that I'm using, including the Sizzix and the ink stands, are all available at Catherine Pooler Designs, so shop.catherinepooler.com. If you go to catherinepooler.com/blog, you will see lots of ideas and product inspiration. And also be sure to be following us here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And then we're also on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. All right, let's see what this pop of green looks like. Ta-da! Oh, that's spectacular. So we'll just pull this off of the sticky grid sheet and then cut it down to use on a card. I went simple with this one, cut it down, added a black mat behind it, put it on a white card front, and the sentiment is from the Sweet Nothings stamp set. So with a geometric standout background like this, a simple sentiment is just gonna be perfect. And I love one like this that has the dies and a really fun font. Next up, the Flower Power Rotating Stencil. I love this pattern. Let's try an analogous color combo. So we're gonna do Party Dress, Do-Si-Do, and Samba. We're gonna go heavy-handed with Party Dress. And to get the darkest layering of any ink color, you're gonna wanna make sure your ink pad is freshly inked. That will add a lot of highly saturated color. All right, let's pull this off. Ta-da! And rotate one. Actually, I'm gonna rotate two. Let's go to the other side. Without re-inking, I'm going back in with a really light hand. And we'll get a nice light shading of Party Dress. Before I take it off, I'm just gonna wipe it down. And since I'm using an analogous color scheme, I don't have to worry as much about cleaning this completely, because if a little bit of the pink gets into the red orange, it's not gonna matter. Gorgeous. Another turn, and Do-Si-Do is gonna be next. The result? Could leave it like this. The last rotation. And this one will be Samba. So I'm gonna make sure this gets on here with a nice heavier hand, very fully loaded brush. So I want a nice coverage of Samba. Nice and dark. Let's pull that back and see what we've got. Oh, that's beautiful. I want to darken this up so that there's more contrast. So let's grab another color. Let's pull out the color wheel. So I could go over to the orange and use Tutti Frutti or Flame to darken it up, or I can go the other way and go Rockin' Red or Cranberry Fizz. Side note, when you're cleaning your stencil, don't get too aggressive. I peeled this back a bit and bent my stencil. So just be cognizant of that and be gentle, not like me. Adding a little Cranberry Fizz, and I'm kind of concentrating around this piece here so it's more in the center, and that will give really cool shading. And you know, I'm probably gonna want to go back and do this to every single one. This is one thing I love about stenciling. This is gonna be so pretty. Oh, I love it. Loving it. Okay, and then can grab a hay die. And again, with this one, I just went simple. I cut it down, added it to a white card base, added my Hey word die, and then the Hey, Hey, Hey sentiments. I just grabbed the friend. And simple, but super cute and fun. Retro Vibe Rotating Stencil. What a cool design. I have done this already in Pixie Dust, Cummerbund, Glitz, and Garden Party. I cut it down, did a little circle die cut, and added You Make Me Happy. That's from the Forever Yours stamp set. And I want to try something different with this one. So I have this little strip left over from that. I have this one where I did Cummerbund and Pixie Dust only, so just two colors. And I was kind of thinking this is yellow, green, blue, purple. So why don't I do then red, violet, pink, and orange. So let's see how this turns out. And then I'm gonna try something a little different than what I've already done. So Sweetheart is our lightest red violet color. Pull this up and rotate. I'll take a peek and rotate. Next up, Party Dress. I'm doing a lighter hand on this one. I don't want it to be too dark just because I don't know, I want a lighter party dress. That's pretty. Another rotation. Whoop, not that rotation. Not that rotation. There we go. That rotation. Next up is Bellini. I'm going to go fairly heavy-handed, and then the next rotation will go light. That's looking fun. And one more. We're going to go really light orange. Very light-handed. I think I want to darken up that first Bellini. I think Orange Twist will be a great color for this. And if you're looking for a pure, true orange, Orange Twist is the one. It was one of our very first ink colors that we released in 2016. I was having trouble finding an orange that was a true orange. A lot of them have a little gray or brown undertone, which is great and definitely need that color, but I also wanted a true orange. Ta-da! Oh yeah, totally digging this. The first 3 cards I made, I used most of the panel. This one I just trimmed off one row. I added a little XOXO there, and I can just add that to a card and have a really clean and simple card. Again, the whole panel. And with this one, I thought, what if I kind of cut apart some of the pieces? So look at this little square. How cute is that? So now I have pieces with the different color schemes and adding them together, adding a little foam tape under each square and rectangle just adds so much fun. Just a really simple XOXO or X heart. And then this one I just used 2 strips, 5 across, 2 down. Life is Better with You and XOXO. Forever Yours stamp set, Sweet Nothing stamp set. I also use the Hey 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 sentiments and my Hey Hello Hi dies, because I love big word chunky dies with geometric images like that. All of the products that I used today can be found at katherinepooler.com, including blending brushes, ink pads, sequins. These are perfect and necessary for covering boo-boos, which I did on this one. I dipped my finger in the black ink pad on accident and then got it in some of those spots, but now you can't tell. The Stencil and Stamp Tool, Forever Yours sentiments, Hey 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 sentiments, Sweet Nothing stamp set, and the 4 rotating stencils, all available at katherinepooler.com. Thanks for hanging out and watching my video. I'll see you again very soon.